Join the chat. Let's start the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, beautiful, happy people. And we are here with another episode of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner and my very, very lovely guest that I'm super excited about today, Miss Simene Walden. And I will be sharing more about who she is and why she's on my show, because she's amazing, in just 1 second. First, let me introduce myself, just in case you don't know who I am. My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I am a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I help millennial moms and startup entrepreneurs master their mindset and balance their lives with self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline. And enough about me, honey, because I'm super excited. Hopefully, you guys have grabbed your drink and make sure you join the chat, because we're going to get into some stuff. Yes, I got my cup. Make sure you comment, love, and share this video and chat with us, because this isn't just a conversation between me and my beautiful guest. This is a conversation between all of us. So talk to us in the comments. Post your questions below. And now, without further ado, let me introduce Miss Simene Walden to you. She is known as the student teacher. She's a teacher, coach, writer, speaker, trainer, and Amazon bestselling author. Honey, she is the bee's knees, okay? She is the owner of The Student Teacher, where she is flooding the educational system with God's words of prayer. The Student Teacher trains other educators on how to have a heart of a teacher, and she helps new and novice authors craft their stories without losing their voice and compromising their faith. So welcome to the show. How are you, Miss Simene?
All right, Lindsey, I am well. Thank you for inviting me. You know I'm excited to be over here with you, so thank you so much.
Yay! So I know I just ran down your resume, but tell me and tell our viewers on tonight, who is the real Simene outside of all of the accolades? Like, who is she really? What makes her tick? What gets her going?
I'm glad you asked that question. So the real Simene is the same person who is the student teacher, but it's just without the titles and, without other things. I'm a down to earth woman who loves to have fun. I'm chill. I keep a very close knit space with me. So a lot of people, they know of Simene, but it's not a whole lot of people that know Simene. I believe in keeping those who are close, who have shown themselves loyal and trustworthy, that they know me. So I love to have fun. I love to laugh. I just love to be silly. I love peace. I love calm. I'm a teacher by vocation. I love teaching. I'm ready to get out the teaching profession and to do, my publishing and my speaking full time. But I'm just a down home girl from North Carolina that moved to Maryland and, have just kind of spread my wings. So that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell.
Nice. So North Carolina to Maryland. Any Maryland, North Carolina peeps, post where you're from in the comments right now. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Make sure you post your questions down there as well. So you call yourself the Student Teacher, and that's the name of your company. Tell us a little bit more about that. What made you start that specifically?
So you said I'm a teacher by vocation. So this was like probably 2017. I'm a teacher by vocation. I love to read and I love to study. And one morning I was getting up, I was praying for the school system, and the Lord said, "You're the student teacher." And I'm like, "The student teacher?" He says, "Yeah, you're my student, and then you're a teacher of my word. And so you're the student teacher." And I was like, wow, because in the professional world, those who are being trained to be a teacher. That's what they call a student teacher. You go in, you do your hours for a semester or sometime a whole year, and as your field experience, and then you become a teacher, you get licensed and to be credentialed. So I would never be a person where I say I've made it or I've arrived and I've done all the things that God has asked me to do. So I'm always in the place of being a student and learning, and then I take what I learned, I turn around and I teach to other people.
Nice. We have Miss Dominique tuning in all the way from Tennessee. LJ says, Dream Team. Yes, we will see LJ. And Miss Renette says she is tuning in from Evansville, Indiana. Thank you. Post your comments down there. Remember, love, share, like this video, comment all night. Talk to us. So, I noticed that you said you were praying for the system, and and I noticed in your bio you talk about, bringing in the word. So I know that there are a lot of people, whether they have a business or whether they're in the corporate world, but they shy away from bringing their faith into the workplace. And then even with schools, bringing their faith into the educational system. So how have you found a way to kind of mesh the two and let people know that it's okay to be who you are in your spirituality and not shy away from that?
I love this question. Oh, it's a song. So I'm not digressing, but I am a little bit. So there's a song by, his name is Jonathan Ferguson. He goes named Apostle Jonathan Ferguson, but he has a lot of songs. He does a lot of worship songs, and he does something called Boot Camp. And so he has a CD, and one of his songs up there, and I was just listening to it the other day, and I was like, the next time I do something, this is the theme song I'm coming out on. But it says, when people ask you how you did it, you just said Jesus did it. And so as he was teaching me about being the student teacher, there's a scripture that talks about be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. And so Lindsey, he just would give me things. So like, everybody have like their top 5 classroom rules or expectations. So, I'm all for that. But what he gave me was affirmations, and they are scripture based. I've used the New Living Translation because it's very practical in the way it speaks. And I take those things, and that's what we put up on my wall, and their affirmation. That's what we recite them at the beginning of every class. And so it has something like, I have a good name. I have friends who keep me out of trouble. So I've taken it and I made it very practical so they can understand that. And we say that every day. So that's what we govern ourselves by. And so, people will come in, principals, the minute they'll say, oh my God, I love these. A lot of it go right over their head because it's wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. And then you have some that'll get it and say, I remember when we used to pray in school. I remember when, a lot of the older retired, they would say that to me. But that's one way I do the affirmations. And a lot of people don't know when they talk about church and state, the same way that you can have a sports team, academic team. If students wanted to have a prayer team or religious team, and that's all religion, I just made my calling sure, my calling election sure. But any religion, somebody say, hey, I want to have a prayer team at my school. Students can ask for that, and they can choose the teacher on record to do that. So I could never go to school and say, hey, you should start a prayer team with me, and let's do it. If they ask for that and they choose me, I could do that the same way as a bowling group or basketball group, and the school has to allow them that space and time to do that. A lot of times you see it with a lot of students who are Muslim because they ask when they're fasting, when it's Ramadan, nobody questions that. As a Christian believer, if your child is fasting or praying and they say, I need to be excused so I can go to the bathroom and pray, they have to allow that. A lot of people don't know that, so they don't do it, they don't push it because they say it's church and state. But we have rights that a lot of believers don't execute because a lot of times they feel like, don't talk about religion and don't talk about politics because people get all up in arms. Whether we talk about it or not, how people believe and how people govern themselves, you see it in their actions and their behaviors anyway. They may not come out and say it to you, but it's there. And so he's really teaching me how to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So that's the one thing with the affirmation. And people know who they can come to and who they can talk to. I don't necessarily advertise, I pray for my students, but they will come to me and say, Miss Walden, can you pray for me? And I say, I sure can. Or they'll tell me, my dad is sick with cancer. Or they'll tell me all these things. And I say, okay, Miss Walden's going to pray for you. So it's just like when you start doing it, it's like kind of like when you start operating in your field, people will come because they'll see it. And it's really not something that I've done. And I'm very careful that I don't ever share the school district or the school that I work at per se online ever, unless I do it. And I'm not really friends with a whole bunch of my coworkers. So when I'm saying it at when I speak about it, I'm not pinpoint to one place because I don't want to think I'm trying to use my school or my students to kind of build something. But this is who I've been able to do. And I've been able to partner with other people to say, hey, yeah, let's pray for the school system. And, I just go and I just do it. So that's how it started. And that's how I kind of do it. And I try not to shy away because if I try to act like, my faith is not important to me, when you talk to me, it's going to come out. So it's like, I'd rather for you to know up front who I am versus whatever. Because a lot of guys who approach me like, hey, I think you're beautiful, whatever. And I would say, okay, cool. Check out my Facebook. Go look at a couple of my videos and then tell me what you think. And a lot of times those dudes don't come back because it's like, oh yeah, I don't know. For real.
They are not trying to get right with the Lord, okay? They say, oh, no. And so I love that because you are living in your truth. And whenever I'm talking about living your first class life, one of those things is being confident in who you are as a person, flaws and all, because it's very draining when we pretend to be something else that we're not. And we can also invite a lot of relationships and energies that we don't want around us because we're pretending to be something that we're not. And so just like you were saying, whenever the dudes be peeping you and talking to you, you are confident in your spirituality and the faith that you hold as a believer. And so you stand in that and you let them know, okay, if you want to pursue me, this is what I'm about. And it already blocks out a whole bunch of deadbeats because they're like, I'm not trying to follow that. And so that's a whole reason why it's so important to be confident in who you are and your values and beliefs. Yes, whatever those may be. Okay. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? If y'all felt that, please let me know in the comments. Say, yes, I felt it. I am confident. Or even, be true with us.
Yeah.
This is your moment too. Let us know, I'm working on my confidence. Or I am confident. Let us know which one you are, okay?
Lindsey, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I was not always this confident. I hid behind, and there's still parts of the call that God has placed in my life that I'm not too comfortable with right now because it's unknown, and sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy, and I'm not perfect, and I'm not doing all these things that I think you should do, which there's no work that can save you. So this is years cultivating, and being confident in myself and having people to just pour into me who saw greatness and saw things in me that I did not see in myself, who still believe in me right now when I don't have days when I don't believe in myself. So it's definitely a work in progress. But when those days when I'm pumped up and I'm fired up, I'm like, hey, let's do it. So it was not always like this. I used to record videos and I would just post midnight hours, hoping nobody would, really look at them because I was too afraid. But I knew this message is good. I want to share it. And I never got a whole bunch of likes, but I was like, hey, if one person here, that's good. And one of my former students told me one night, she DM'd me, she was like, Miss Walden, I watch your videos late at night. I said, you do? She said, yeah. I was like, oh my God, this lady's gonna know. And some of my students kind of old students, they kind of okay, this lady's off her rockers. But some of them appreciate that. So again, it's it deters some and then it attracts other people. But I was not always like this. And even now, sometimes I get kind of I don't know about that.
Well, I am so glad that you have stepped fully into your confidence because I love me some Simene, y'all. Let me just tell you.
I love me some Lindsey, y'all.
She always has a nice, bright smile, and her energy is great. Whether you are a believer or not, she is just an awesome, awesome, awesome person, and I can't wait till I can give her a big old hug.
I know. I can't wait to just Guys, listen, you're gonna see some pictures with me and Lindsey this week, so you get ready. We're gonna blow
Yes,
up.
yes. LJ says we grow with God as he grows in us. That's why you will reach the multitudes. Transparency. And Dominique says, exactly. I am trying to bring out those parts of me out that I know God has in me. I definitely understand what you mean, Simene.
Oh, thank you, Dominique. See, somebody can relate. Thank you so much.
Yes. That is just amazing. And I think this is a great time to just take a moment. If you're just tuning in, I am chatting with the wonderful Simene Walden, and she is the student teacher, okay? And by that, she helps teachers. She has her students, like actual students, and she does it all under her faith, okay? So post your questions for Miss Simene below. Make sure you comment, love, and share this video out because you never know who needs to hear it. And plus, it's good juicy stuff. Okay. But right now, what we're going to do is we are going to find out
What's in your cup?
Yeah. So, of course, my amazing guest gets to go first. This is the part of the show where you tell us what's in your cup, what you're drinking on. And if you don't have a drink right now, hurry up, run to your kitchen, grab one, come back and join us and put it in the comments what you're sipping on, whether that's some water or some herbal tea or you're juicing or you got a little extra ingredient in the drink, okay? Little cocktail, little ale. We don't judge on the Happy Hour show. Let us know what you're drinking in the comments. And my beautiful guest, Miss what's in your cup?
It is some. This is the Costco brand alkaline water, pH 9.5. So I've been trying to do better with my health, and I read that your body needs to be a certain pH level. So I've been drinking this alkaline water. So that's what's in my cup tonight.
Alkaline water, and what's the pH again?
9.5.
9.5. So I'm assuming that's really good for you.
Yeah.
Do you know about the different pHs in water? Like
I haven't learned that much yet, but I'm gonna learn that and let you know.
Got you. I know my husband, he was into drinking alkaline waters for a little bit. Kind of phased out of it, but I was going to a very specific store to get the alkaline because it's not like easily available.
Right, it's not
all the time. So I would drive to a specific store, grab all the alkaline waters, and bring it back.
Because you're such a great wife.
Thanks. I do what I can. So give us some cup cam. Hold your cup up to the camera. Let's see what's on there.
Let me get this one. It says Thrive Empowerment.
Oh, okay.
Thrive and Empowerment. So one of my mentees, she lives in Canada. And so she had a summit maybe a month ago, and I was a speaker, and she sent this to me and a whole bunch of other stuff as a gift. So I told her, I said, I'm gonna be on the show soon, and I have to bring a cup, and I'm gonna bring your cup. So this
nice. Thriving Empowerment. And what's that last word down there?
Thriving Empowerment Summit.
Oh, okay. So that nice. She had a mug for her summit. So good branding, girl.
Yeah.
And so I have blueberry lemonade. And if you follow me, then you know that my daughter makes lemonade. And she made 5 new batches last night. And so I said, we're going to go ahead and make a batch for the house that doesn't get sold. And so I filled my cup up with some of this liquid crack. Okay.
That sounds good, Lindsey. Blueberry lemonade. That sounds good.
Last night she did 5 flavors. Of course, the original lemonade, strawberry, blueberry, mixed berry, and watermelon lemonade. So, yes. Yes, if you see her in your neighborhood, make sure you buy you some lemonade, okay?
That's right. Buy some, support the baby girl, okay? Support the baby girl.
Yes. Renette says she's drinking a slushie. Ooh, tell us what flavor. Slushies are always so nice and refreshing. Dominique says, I'm drinking that good old ice water. So look, y'all are on one accord.
I know. Do y'all have Sonics where you are? Because they said it's a, you know what Sonic is? It's a they have really good slushies during their happy hour. Real good slushies.
Yes, I like to mix the slushie with the ice cream. So the Sonic where I live locally actually closed down, but I would get happy hour drinks from there. And Miss Cher says that she is drinking Chateau Elan summer wine. I hope I heard that right. Chateau Elan summer wine. That sounds very classy. It's giving me everything I need right now, for sure. Yes. Okay. Get your sip on, wind it down.
You go right.
And Renette says, where's my batch, honey? Well, you know who to call to order you some lemonade. Ooh. And her slushy is cherry slushy.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. I like to mix my flavors of slushies.
I never heard anybody say they mix slushy with ice cream, Lindsey. So that's a new one for me.
Yes, it's really good. And a lot of places, like, you can ask them if they will just do it, even if it's not on their menu. Like, if they have slushies, like, can you mix some ice cream in my slushie? And
I'm gonna try that to let you know how it goes.
Yes. Cher says, I actually visited this vineyard 2 weeks ago and toured the entire facility. Then I did a wine tasting and everything got Well, oh my goodness. That sounds like a good date, okay? Yeah, sounds like you had a good time at this vineyard.
Right. I went to a winery with my best friend like some years ago. And I was like, I really want to go. Like, I'm not necessarily a wine drinker, but that day they paired with like Linden chocolates that day. Oh my God, girl, that turned me on. Like, so I wasn't even all on the wine. I was on the chocolate, but I was like, it was such a nice place to go and to see how it's made. It's a very like ambiance, peaceful place. So I think I'm definitely gonna go and visit that again soon. So thank you for sharing that, Miss Cher. I will tell you about the chocolates, you know.
Yeah.
Well, with your wine.
I actually have never been a fan of chocolate. Every now and then I'll be like, ooh, let me just try it, see if my taste buds change. But no, I have never liked chocolate. There are about a handful of partially chocolate items that I will eat. Like, I'll eat a Reese's, but only if it's frozen, and Reese's Pieces, but only if it's frozen, and a Kit Kat, but only if it's frozen.
Wow.
And I'll drink hot chocolate, but every other chocolate, I don't like it.
So when I went there for the wine tasting, it was the white chocolate that I was introduced to. So I like that white chocolate because of that now.
Wow. And even white chocolate, some people will say, well, do white chocolate. And I'll be like, that tastes even worse than regular chocolate.
What? Wow. Okay. So that's another part. See, that's another part of Simene that most people don't see online. So you get there. I like to go to the wine with my friend and we eat white chocolate.
Well, listen, if we go out to eat this week and they give us chocolate, you know, I'll just pass mine to you.
And I would gladly accept. Thank you so much.
So give me an extra shot in my glass in exchange for this chocolate.
Yeah.
So let's get back into our chit chat. Being the student teacher, and I know that you've had to adjust with the whole online world and the whole COVID and all of that stuff. And I know a lot of parents have now picked up the employment of being a teacher when that wasn't necessarily their choice. Yeah. So what would you say to those people that are watching that now have that task of being a teacher to their students whenever that's not their natural ability? That's not something that they're passionate about. Not that they don't teach their children. That's completely different than actually being your child's educational teacher. You know what I mean?
Yes. So first, I take my hats off to all of you parents. And as you know, I laugh about that video that you made, but I understand. Like, and I've heard so many people like, even so North Carolina, because from North Carolina. So North Carolina, everybody started online teaching yesterday, and I was watching one of my old mentors, her post, and and I'm not saying this to demean people who are not educated, but like with you and with her, these are well-educated people who are saying, she was saying the first 5 hours of online teaching, I'm already stressed out. So I went on her comment and I said, hey, listen, don't stress out because you got it. And this is what I would encourage all of you, especially for parents, to one, give yourself grace, give your child grace, because as much as they go to school, it doesn't always mean that they like school. It doesn't always mean that they're learning stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so now they have this small setting where, and I know for our district, we're not necessarily asking you guys to be the teacher and teach the content. We're just asking to partner with us, to help them get online, and one of the things I'm trying to do this year is to be much more communicative with my parents and say, hey, all I want you to learn is learn the apps and devices that we use. You don't have to worry about the content, because what will happen is I teach middle school, and this year I'm going to be teaching 8th grade. Pray for me, Lindsey. Like, for real. So I went from 6th grade to 8th grade, and I've taught 8th grade years before, but like now, like the babies. But if you know at least how to get on the apps and check what we're doing, not necessarily regurgitating the information or trying to teach them, but at least because children will say, especially middle school, oh, well, my teacher didn't tell me that I don't have no work. And so it was a whole bunch of incomplete stuff. But
Mhm.
give yourselves grace. Just be, if you have a question, email the teacher, email the school, email until you get an answer, because you guys are a very important part of what we do. Not just, and it virtually is become a much more greater part of what you guys do for us, with us, but in the school period, it's a partnership, and we have to work with you as much as you got to work with us. So give yourself grace. If something you don't understand, listen, it's okay. If your child kind of feels a little overwhelmed or a little frustrated, just talk to them, and talk to them as mom and dad, not necessarily teach, because again, children don't always have a good relationship with their teachers. Some of them they do, and it's like now it's like, oh my God, it's my mom, and my teacher, she's being hard on me. But be easy and be patient, and when you don't understand, ask them what are the apps you use, and then maybe you can do like a little tutorial. Ask them, do you have any professional developments for parents where I can go and look at this app really quick so I can become familiar with it? And Lindsey, one thing I love about teaching is that all of the things that I learned in school, like sometimes I don't even really like, I'd be like, I don't care, but I learned these apps and I include it in my business. And so I'm always learning. I'm always saying, how can I use this in the student teacher? So let me pay attention so I can learn this. And so just look at it as another opportunity for you to learn and grow, as parents to learn and grow. How can you use this outside of just teaching your child? It could be something you can do in industry. It could be something you can do in business. It could be something it could be a platform that you didn't know about that you can use with your family to communicate, especially when people are social distancing. It could be things you're doing for scheduling meetups. I use something now called Sign Up Genius. And so when I want people to sign up for a slot, I learned that from school. All the stuff they send me, all the trainings they send me to do, I take all of that stuff and use it. And so use it to your advantage. And then ask your students, hey, teach me this app. Show me how to get up there. That way it's kind of like not necessarily teaching you the subject per se, but they teach you how to use the tool. And once they know how to use the tool, they'll be able to access the actual content from the teacher. I hope did that make sense or help? Was it helpful?
Y'all parents, let us know. Was that helpful in the comments? Please tell us. Post your questions down there for Miss Simene. Whatever question you have, nothing is off limits. Let us know in the comments those questions. And don't forget to love this video, share this video out. And it's important that if you didn't catch it, very, very important that you give yourself grace. It's okay to make mistakes and, get your flow together. I know that now that they had a little bit more time to prepare for online school, that, I think most of the kids have more of a schedule this go round. But I love that you said, like, check in with your child, because sometimes as adults, we forget that children have all the same emotions that we experience. Sometimes they wake up on the bad side of the bed. Like sometimes they just need a hug. Like they don't need you to yell at them. Sometimes they just need come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they feel frustrated, you know, they get annoyed, they get irritated all the same way we do as adults. And so remembering that they have their whole own set of emotions and they're going through their whole own transitions, not being at school with their friends and being cooped up in the house with you all these months. Listen, I love all y'all dearly, but that don't mean that anybody wants to be cooped up with you for months upon months upon months.
Right. And Lindsey, one other thing is like, you know, as a teacher, like a lot of educators are not feeling being at home, right? So a lot of educators not here. So it's new for teachers too. So it's new. We're learning as we're trying to teach you guys. And so as you give, you know, the student and the parent grace, also give the teacher grace. And there's some teachers who I don't believe should just be teach. I wouldn't let them teach my dog, but you know, just be patient with them as well. And then you have some who like it and enjoy it. Like I like virtual teach. Like I'm moving out of the public school system next year because I'm going to find me a online teaching position because I like it so much. But there are some teachers who are really trying to do the very best they can. They're overwhelmed. They don't know how to do it. They got their own children that they're supposed to be teaching while they're teaching. And like as a lot of parents who, are home or have to go to work. And so they got to figure out all these things. So just again, give yourself grace and then work with the people, your family or people in the community that you can to see how it can become a group effort and not necessarily, something in silos. Maybe y'all can get on a Zoom meeting. Maybe your daughters, if they have 2 or 3, other students, parents, maybe y'all can get on and kind of talk about it and decipher it out, and just trying to find resources and help and encouragement. Because if you don't stay encouraged, it'll be like, you know what, screw all of this crap. But try to look at the bright side of one, I would say is you're home, you're safe, child's not going to school, getting bullied and getting picked on. So you got kind of like first hands with them, but really just grace. And that does not excuse people from not doing their job or not communicating or not answering emails or students not being held accountable for doing their thing or, parents at least not trying to get them online or to learn these things. But just be patient. It's a work in progress for all of us. And I would say for those who are not happy with the curriculum and the things that's being taught, this is a perfect opportunity for you to slide in specific things that perhaps you may want your child to learn. Let this be a good thing. We can get that math this way, but we're gonna do old school math and
right.
these projects. Right. Oh, I don't like this book you read. And hey, listen, I got some book on Black history or whatever it is you want to do, and you infuse all of that in. So it's a perfect time to really help and include some things that perhaps you want to see in the educational system. But it's also a perfect time to just say, I'm a parent first, I'm a mom first, I'm gonna love my child through this. That, and people talk about being behind 1 year and 2 years, and I get it. And I've met a lot of students who've been in special ed class and been labeled where people say they would never do anything. But God has a way of redeeming your time and what you thought you lost in 1 year and 2 years. And they said you were behind and you couldn't learn, and that he can speed all that up. So don't even get, frustrated about, my child's going to miss these lessons. Your child has a whole life to learn, a whole lot of lessons, and they can go and catch up with that. So don't let that overwhelm you.
Yes. Did y'all hear that nugget? Please tell me that you did. Let us know in the comments. Say, I heard it and I love it. And I'm going to share that word with somebody else. Miss Cher says, yes, very helpful. Thank you for the encouragement. Miss Dominique says, there we go. I personally love online schooling. I definitely hope this continues even after this year is over. Listen, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I don't. Okay? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Because I work from home and I'm coaching my clients, and a lot of times I have videos to record, and so to be mindful, like
right. Yeah, and a lot of,
especially my daughter, she's very social.
And Lindsey, like as a parent like that, I applaud you, and I would say do what you can. Like really, honestly, do what you can. I mean, I think everything is more scripted and all that. I don't get on children about, just like, I wasn't a person who like, oh my God, you got to come to school because then you're going to take your parents to court. I don't know why the child missed. Some do skip school and we have to follow through. But there may be times where you just don't get on. That's not to say, oh my God, I'm a bad parent or I can't do, so you can use all of that as a learning experience. Mommy has to, record her video. All this stuff could be teaching moments for her, So I'm telling you, don't let this stress you out. Like, have fun. Don't let any of this stress you out. And I'm telling you from a teacher's perspective, don't let this stress you out. I was checking on my little niece. She started yesterday. My niece told me that my great niece, my niece is the mama. My great niece is 8. And I said, hey, how did it go? And, she said, well, I got until I think tomorrow to get the devices. I said, okay, I'm gonna check back on you because, they need a little, she need a little grace, need a little encouragement. And they say, oh my God, why you ain't get the girl? Hey, listen, let me know what I can do to help and support. So I'm telling you, don't stress yourself.
I can admit, like, this school year has been way easier and a lot more seamless than whenever it was thrown up on us, which I can understand because they didn't have time to prepare for all of that. But still, we've been doing fine so far. But we've only had a week of school, okay? Right. I thought things were going good the first time around until it got to day 2 or 3, and then y'all saw me in the bathtub.
Lindsey, post that video. Guys, listen. I watched that video. I'm not lying. About 10 times back to back that night. Lindsey did a video of her homeschool experience. Lindsey, I hope you post. I think it's on her YouTube channel. It's so funny. And I laughed, but I felt bad. Like, these parents, like, are really, it's funny.
Let's go to these comments. Make sure you post your questions for Miss Walden in the comments. Do that right now because our next segment is coming up. Post your questions down below. And let's see. Tanya says, I agree, but it was a perfect time for me to not only teach my own kids, but creating my virtual tutoring business. Hashtag read and beyond. The community needs it. She is so right. I taught kids bumped from 5th to 7th grade because they failed the state exam. I grew those babies and ranked a top 10 educator. Congratulations. So right. These great despite it all. And I love that because sometimes this is like a perfect example of sometimes we get caught up in our circumstances and the labels that society puts on us, or maybe those around us puts on us. And so we start to hold on to that label and believe that label. And it's important that we decide who we want to be. And then we go after it and ignore those negative labels that are placed upon us because we always have the power and ability to not become whatever those labels are, right? Just like Tanya was just saying here. And even with myself, whenever I had a whole brain dead label, like, first of all, I didn't really have any say in that initially, but God took it from the spiritual perspective. And then once my medical team did everything that they could do from the scientific perspective, it was still up to me to decide, okay, am I going to be a victim or a victor? And so you have to make the choice in your life for whatever that is to not be a victim to your circumstance. And in this current time, it's be a victim to COVID and everything surrounding COVID and everything surrounding our political climate and everything just going on, period. You have to make that choice to be a victor over it.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yes. So listen, what words of advice would you give to all of those out there just to kind of keep it calm, decrease stress, decrease overwhelm in this time right now? Like, how are you maintaining being calm, cool, and collected and unbothered by COVID?
Well, first I say speak life, and you have to start speaking life to yourself. Speak life to yourself. Speak so you can hear the words that you're speaking out, because Numbers 14:28 says, the Lord says, I would do to you what I heard you say. And so we have to be mindful that words give life or words are death. So first of all, speak life to yourself, and then speak life to your family, to your children, to your situation, to your circumstance. Always speak life. And, as I shared earlier, I said, I keep my circle kind of tight. I talk to people, but like those close people, I can't have a whole bunch of drama. I can't have a whole bunch of fussing, because I remember how I used to be that very mean and nasty person. And it was unrest. And so
Mhm.
I like to be cool and chill. So make sure you're cool and chill. Minimize how much of, the outside media that you take in or what you're taking in, because it will affect you. You would think that, and while I pray and I feel bad, I know people personally who lost parents to COVID, don't be mindful of how much you take into that. Link up with other like-minded people, or people who are doing what you want to do or have expertise in something. Listen to like people like Lindsey on the Happy Hour show that can really motivate you, bring other people. And then whatever you feel like that you're not able to do right now or you want to do, this is the perfect time to kind of do it. Now, I thought initially everything slowed down, and I kind of slowed down, but man, I done picked up. Like, I'm more busy now, than I was before. But Lindsey, I want to share something with you really quick. As I was studying, I was up this morning praying, and I don't know if you noticed, because you may, but I was looking up something else, but I looked up the word blessed. And blessed is a state of prosperity or happiness when it comes to a superior who bestows like God's blessings upon us. And so the fact that you have a happy hour show, it is God releasing his blessing and his favor upon you and his prosperity upon you. And so I am just so thankful and grateful that you even, invited me to be a guest. So I was like, oh, I want to be up here. So thank you so much for doing that, because a lot of times you hear people say, joy is what the Lord gives you, but happiness is based on things that are happening. But as a scripture that says, it's Deuteronomy 33:29 says, happy are thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord. And so you can have happiness simply because you're saved. You can have joy because he gives that to you, and you can have strength. But I'm so thankful that, with happiness comes the prosperity, comes the favor, comes God bestowing his blessings upon us. And so, when you start thinking about stuff like that, you're like, shoot, listen, I'm good. So, not to say we won't go through things, not to say we won't be affected by different things, but always speak life in the situation, because a lot of times what we see is not actually the full picture of what's going on. And so just being positive and being real about your situation. Like, I have friends where I want to go off and I want to talk about what I see on TV and politics and race. I do that with them, right? And then, I come on and I still share it, here and there, but having those people where you can really vent and take off at student, teacher, Jeremiah 20, take all that off and just be Simene. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So speak life to your situation.
Yes, I love that. Speak life, because listen, y'all know, if y'all follow me, I say it all the time, our thoughts are very powerful. The words that we speak are very powerful, whether they're negative or positive. You are attracting that into your life. You are attracting that onto your being. So you have to be mindful of your thoughts and the things that you are saying. Like, there's one speech. See, look, we laugh and have fun. I'm human. I make mistakes too. I don't know what a piece is, but there's one of them. Okay. There's one thing that I like to say is that, look, now I done completely forgot what I was going to say. So if it comes back to me, I share it. If it doesn't, oh, well, you probably heard me say it, because I'm sure I was about to say something that was very key and relevant. Okay. Tanya says, you better say it, Lindsey. We haven't talked much, but I lost the function of my finger during this pandemic. Oh, blessings to you, Tanya. Blessings to you. There we go. I will tell anyone, you can get through this one day at a time with prayer and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Never stop creating. Come out of this pandemic stronger, wiser, sharper, and more business-minded. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Tanya, because everything is what you make it. Like I said, your thoughts are very powerful. So if you're thinking negatively, you're attracting more negativity into your life. If you're thinking positively, you're attracting more positivity into your life. Dominique says, yes.
Can I share one last thing? Fear, anxiety, and worry is one of the number one root causes of a lot of sickness and disease that we see.
Yes.
And so it's so important that you are mindful of the stuff you listen to, the things that you say, the stuff that you hear, even that you hear people say. And I share with Lindsey, like our moms, they support you. They don't care what you're doing. They gonna tell somebody about you. But there was a point where my mom, and she worried so much about me. She always tells me, you never know how parents worry because you don't have children of your own. And I say, you're right. I don't know what that feeling is, but she would worry to the point where it was all I could say, Mom, I'm traveling, I'm going here and there. She would tell me like 10 horrific stories that she done seen about women being raped and you can't go on at night. Like she would tell me all these things because she worried so much about me. And I had to tell her, you have to stop telling me that. And so now I don't even tell my mom when I'm going. Like I tell her when I get there and when I come back, or sometimes after I've already gone, because she worries so much. And I had to help her understand, Ma, you can't be listening to all of these things because your negative energy, that anxiety, that fear, that I can feel that to me. So then it makes me kind of second guess what I'm doing. But I know that I'm covered. I know I prayed and God's going to protect me. And while things can happen at night, things can happen in the daytime. And I just believe you got to be sure that you don't allow fear, and you don't even have like secondhand fear to be a part of you. Because I learned a lot. I became afraid of stuff that wasn't mine, but I took on stuff, people in my family, because they projected it and talked about it so much.
Yes.
Please be mindful of fear and anxiety and worry, because that manifests in your body, and you have people with all kind of disease and all kind of sickness because of fear, worry, and anxiety.
And so many people don't understand how we can think ourselves into illness.
Yes.
We can think ourselves into, a weak immune system. I actually talk about that in some of the things that I say, like, this is why it's so important for you to live a first-class life, because when you don't, you are bringing up on you all of these sicknesses that you keep having every month. You are bringing up on you like a weakened immune system. You are increasing your risk for depression and anxiety, and all of that can eventually lead to suicidal thoughts if you're not careful, or drug addiction or something like that, whatever your vice may be. So it's very, very important that we are mindful of the things that we're thinking. We are mindful of the other people around us and what we allow into our environment. It's like, so I travel all the time, right? And often I'm on some of those trips by myself. And so like, I always make sure there's that point person that knows where I'm going, where I'm going to be, and things like that. But I remember like the very first time I went out of the country by myself, like everybody was, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it's like, I can't have that.
You can't even enjoy yourself because you like,
right. Whenever I went to Bali, like I did a whole little kind of section, like a little travel trip. So I did like Singapore and just like a whole 2 weeks. And so there was a portion of it where I was with other girls. And then the other half, I was by myself, and I was, going like kind of country hopping because I was going to be halfway across the world. It's like, I want to see some extra things for this long ass flight, right?
Right.
And so I didn't even tell some people that like a portion of that trip was going to be by myself, or like I told them afterwards, or I didn't tell them that, I ate with strangers multiple times and I was absolutely safe. And it wasn't that I was, unwise in my decisions. I was very alert. I made sure that I always had a full charge of battery before I left my room or left wherever I was. If I noticed that my battery was getting low and I didn't have any ability to charge it, I made sure that whatever I was doing, it was over, because I'm going back to make sure my phone, so that I was never without a phone. I made sure that I was constantly aware of my surroundings. If I had my earpiece in, the volume wasn't really on, or I had one on and one out, so that I could still be aware. Like if I was walking up on a dark path, I would make sure that I stepped out and walked into the lighted street versus the dark sidewalk. And so I was very smart in my actions, and I had an amazing no point and in all of that trip where I felt unsafe or I felt in danger, because I was aware and I was smart with my decisions. And so I was also very mindful to not let other people pose that fear upon me, because the few people that did know, they were like, oh my gosh, you're doing what? You're doing what? this, and I'm like, nope. So you have to do that in all aspects of your life, whether you're traveling, whether you're starting a business, whether you're just raising your children, because a lot of people are pouring fear with this whole COVID going on. They're like spilling and spewing fear all over you. And so you have to know whose you are. You have to trust that it's all going to work out for your good, and then just be smart in your decisions, right?
Did you see what Shay? She said, y'all going in right now. I'm about to throw this computer, shaking my head. No, I really don't.
Don't throw it, girl. Just throw your hand. Throw your hands. Right? Like
I love it.
Yes. Thank you for joining me on the Happy Hour show. This has been an amazing talk. We talked education, we talked spirituality, we talked confidence, we talked fear. So make sure if you are just tuning in, you go back and catch the replay so you can get everything that you missed, and make sure that you share this out, because if you heard some gems, I know there's somebody on your friends list that also needs to hear this gems. Make sure that you also sign up for happy hour updates. Okay, just go to bit.ly/happy updates. That way you can stay tuned and stay updated on future episodes. You can stay updated on special airings. And sometimes my guests have a super exclusive happy hour special, but only if you're subscribed. So make sure you subscribe right now so that you can stay updated. It's been amazing. So as we've already kind of talked about, I'm all about happiness and being intentional with your life. I have to ask every single one of my guests this question. How do you create intentional happiness in your life?
Listen, I love music. That's enough. So I love music. I love to dance, but I can't really dance. Well, let me say this. The way I dance don't look like the way I see other people dance. So I figured maybe I ain't doing something right, but I love to dance. I love music, and I love to like worship. And so music is like my thing. Music is really it calm. Like if I want to get hype, I put on music. If I want to get calm, I want to put on music. If I'm sad, whatever it is, music is definitely my thing. And so music is my go-to thing. And so, hey, Melissa, this is Melissa, Lindsey. Remember I told you that I did the summit? Melissa, I got your cup up here. So that's Melissa. And so music is my go-to thing. And then, I have friends where they're like my sounding board sometimes, where I can just call and, just share with them what I got going on. But music is my number one thing.
Nice. And it is, because it's like you can find a song for every mood, right? Yes. So listen, I'm forever grateful, Miss Simene Walden. Now I'm thinking of Sam. Miss Simene Walden. Put some respect on your name. Walden, the student teacher. All right.
That's so funny you said that, because one day, this was like when I first met Melissa, I was sharing with her some things I do, and she was like, "You need to put some respect on your name, sis." So the fact that you said that, that's too funny.
It's important because you are amazing, and everybody watching this is amazing in your own right. And I know sometimes we don't feel confident or amazing, or we don't feel like we're making an impact, especially if we don't have like a thing that we're known for or something like that. Then that can make you feel a little inferior even more. But you have to remember, like, somebody is watching you and you are impacting them, whether you think you are or not, whether you know it or not. Like, there's always somebody that's 50 steps behind you just trying to get to where you are. So listen, people, listen. Live in your power. Be confident in who you are, flaws and all, because put some respect on your name, okay? Listen, put it in the comments. Say, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Yes. Dominique says, yes, music and praise dancing is how I express myself. Put some respect on Dominique's name. Put some respect on Melissa's name. Put some respect on Cher's name. Respect okay, with the K for that extra emphasis, not with the T. Tanya says, great combos. I love my family and traveling. I own a travel agency and I'm a travel blogger. I'm always creating. Currently missing travel though. Yes, I feel you, Tanya, because I'm like a crackhead with my travel right now. I want to get back on the plane. I just want to get back on the plane. I go somewhere. I need to see it. Yes. Hello. Put some respect on her name. Y'all heard it? Yes. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yes. I love y'all. Put some respect on my name. With that K. Yes, listen. All right. I know I could clown around with y'all all night, but I know y'all got stuff to do. I know I got stuff to do. Shoot, I got to pack. I got a flight in the morning. And with my sisters in DC, so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
Yes. And listen, if you missed it, make sure you sign up for updates. Subscribe, bit.ly/happy updates. And make sure you reach out to Simene. Tell us where they can find you.
So, Lindsey, this was a very, that's what I said. You attract who you like. What you do is just natural. Like, this was so fun. Like, thank you for inviting me. Like, that's first off. So, if you're looking for something, you watching from my page and you're looking for a speaker, I mean, Lindsey has an amazing story. She didn't share it all tonight, but she has an amazing story. So if you're looking for somebody, she's sweet, she's nice, she's just a genuine, nice person. So reach out to her. She doesn't how you reach out to me, but reach out to her. So you can find me on social media. Simene Walden on LinkedIn, Twitter. I share my Instagram now, so not right now. So, but Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope, and then on Facebook on my business page, The Student Teacher. So you can always find me there. You can send me a DM, or you can send me an email. SimeneWalden.com.
SimeneWalden.com. You heard it, folks. Make sure you reach out. And thank you again for coming on the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. And listen, make sure y'all tune in next Tuesday as I bring on my next guest, Mamadou Mamboure. And he is a credit specialist. So I know we're going to talk numbers. I know we're going to talk money. We still going to have fun. But listen, whether you got $0 or $1 million in your bank account, okay, we're going to get some goodness about some money stuff and some credit stuff. I already know because that's what he does. That's who he is. So make sure y'all tune in next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and sign up for updates. That way you know you're going to miss it or won't miss it, okay?
Yeah.
So listen, yes. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Tuning in, and I will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.